Among several key swing states, evidence of supposed glitches in vote-counting software have emerged following the election and in recent days. The Trump campaign and other right-wing groups speculate these glitches transferred votes meant for President Trump over to Democrat nominee Joe Biden. Major media outlets reported that these allegations are false. On CNN, officials from Wisconsin and Michigan said they do not believe anything wrong occurred in their state's elections.
What we've got to talk about really is to leave the conspiracy theories behind.
This election was smooth, secure, transparent, and accurate.
Fluctuations in the voting numbers reported on election night can indicate otherwise. According to a Twitter post from a data scientist, Michigan counted almost 150,000 votes within 5 seconds, and less than 6,000 of them were for Trump. And Virginia's vote count was reduced by over 100,000 votes in the early hours of the morning. The data scientist also told us she found Wisconsin had an average count of 325 votes per second, while Washington hit a peak of over 130,000 vote counts per second. And in one video, what looks to be CNN's 2020 election coverage showed 20,000 votes in Pennsylvania being transferred from Trump to Biden. Other reported glitches have caused separate issues. Wisconsin election workers had to duplicate over 13,000 ballots because of a printing error, which meant every ballot had to be opened and read.
The state of Michigan may have more registered voters in the 2020 election than its voting age population. That's as an analysis shows more than 10,000 deceased people have cast ballots in the state.
The state of Michigan is showing an incredibly high voter registration rate. That's according to calculations based on census and state voting data. The state's population is about 9.9 million as of July last year. An estimation of its 2020 population by a World Population Review is just over 10 million. Census data shows that the state has just under 80% of its population over the age of 18. Unless the state's age group changed dramatically in less than a year, its voting age population should be around 7.8 million. But according to the state's Voter Information Center, there are over 8.1 million registered voters in the 2020 election. That makes the state's voter registration rate over 100%, indicating that there are about 240,000 more registered voters than the state's voting population. That hasn't taken into account that some of the population are immigrants who haven't been naturalized into U.S. citizens. And this may not be a single case. A research by government watchdog Judicial Watch alleges that 353 U.S. counties in 29 states have their voter registration rates exceeding 100%. That's about 1.8 million more registered voters than eligible voting citizens. The study collected the most recent registration data posted online by the states themselves. Meanwhile, more than 10,000 people confirmed or suspected dead have returned their mail-in ballots to vote in Michigan. That's according to analysis of state election data. The analysis was provided by Big Data Poll to NTD's sister media, The Epoch Times. It shows that about 9,500 voters confirmed dead through the Social Security Death Index are marked in the state's mail voting database as having returned ballots. In addition, another nearly 2,000 are 100 years old or more and aren't listed as known living centenarians. The data indicates that somebody else was trying to vote on behalf of these people. Michigan Secretary of State spokesperson told the Epoch Times that ballots of voters who have died are rejected in Michigan, even if the voter cast an absentee ballot and then died before Election Day. But the director of Big Data Poll, Richard Barris, is not convinced, saying that while he is open to the idea that some were rejected, he is not open to any outright dismissal they were all rejected. Democratic nominee Joe Biden leads in Michigan by less than 150,000 votes. The Trump campaign filed a lawsuit in the state to halt vote counting until Republican observers are granted adequate access. Michigan's GOP-led legislature is investigating allegations of election irregularities. Penny Zhou, NTD News.